Buongiorno, Tinakoi. Fee Jamieson-Folland, the lifestyle aligner, helping you live the life you love. So how does our heart health get affected by our blood sugar levels? Well, as you can imagine, I'm going to refer to this week's blog for good reason. It's power-packed with all sorts of insights into understanding that, but also with some solutions, like literally a 7-day action plan in terms of what is it that we can be doing on a daily basis and how, so that we can impact our blood sugar in a positive way in relation to our heart health. So let's first of all though, and that's what perhaps this video is best placed to do, is to help understand how it is that stress disrupts our blood sugar and literally hurts our hearts, or can do. So because when we know what's going on, that's when we can empower ourselves to make a positive change. So I'll talk about those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main areas in which there's the impact of that blood sugar. So literal glucose spikes when our blood sugar increases, and it triggers, so cortisol, hormones like cortisol trigger our liver to release stored glucose, raising blood sugar levels, and chronic stress keeps this cycle going, which leads to insulin resistance. So our bodies become resistant to it, where our cells stop responding to it, the insulin, leaving sugar in our blood. And a 2023 endocrinology study showed that women with high stress had a 20% higher risk of insulin resistance, which strains the heart. So the second thing is inflammation overload. So we know that when something's gotten out of balance, we're going to have inflammation. Sorry about that. It's so bright out there. I'm like hiding from the sun. It's so bright. So elevated blood sugar from stress fuels inflammation, which damages the lining of our arteries, making them more likely to collect plaque. And there's actually a study that's quoted here as well. If you're interested in the studies, I won't mention that because otherwise it's going to be a long video. Blood vessel damage. So high blood sugar stiffens our blood vessels, raising our blood pressure and forcing our heart to work harder. Fat storage and weight gain. So stress hormones encourage fat storage, especially around the belly, which releases chemicals that further, and hormones, other hormones, that further raise blood sugar and inflammation. And then finally, heart rhythm disruptions. So stress and high blood sugar can trigger palpitations and arrhythmias as they disrupt the heart's electrical system, and this can put again more stress on our hearts and cause problems down the line, or even then. And it's interesting because, well, it's challenging, or can be, because in particular women's heart disease symptoms can be vague, not so obvious, and subtle, like jaw discomfort, for example, a feeling of indigestion, well that's a common one, or bloating in the tummy, which I didn't know about that one. And it can be hard to spot, and stress and blood sugar imbalances can really wreak havoc, as we've just described. So if you are someone who cares about this aspect, it's worth heeding this and checking out the blog to look at the steps, the doable steps in there to help us turn things around. Or again, if you know someone, you care about that person in terms of their heart health, this could be a useful resource for them too, the week's blog. And if you're not getting it, then let me know. We'll make sure you do. Have a goodie. Ciao for now.